Hello, we are starting our session today about graphical reading. Graphical reading, it means when we have a curve and we have to find some data through this curve or to answer some question through this curve. This is the curve of a function f. It starts at -5 as abscissa and ends at 3 as abscissa and so on. Okay. The first question is determine the domain of definition. Domain of definition, it means the set of values of x. The values of x starts at -5 and ends at 3. So the solution of the first part, domain of definition equal from -5 till +3. Okay? كيرف يبلش على -5 يخلص على 3 abscissa. Solve graphically. Part 2. Part 2. Find f of -1. When he asked to find f of -1, it means that x equal -1, find y. X equal -1, we draw a vertical line, we go to the curve, and the ordinate is 3. So f of -1 equal to 3. When he asked find f of -1, it means x equal -1, find y. For example, f of 0. Before doing f of 0, I'm gonna say, for example, if I have to find f of -2. F of -2, it means x equal -2. I do go to the curve vertically, and the ordinate is 4. F of 3, go to the curve vertically, and the ordinate is 3. F of 0, we go to the abscissa 0, and it's on the curve, so it's 0. For example, f of 3. F of 3, it means x equal 3. Yeah, go to the curve vertically in a vertical line, and the ordinate is 3. That's how we solve the, that's how we find f of -1, f of 0, etc. Part 3. Solve graphically f of x equal 3. To solve f of x equal 3, it means that y equal 3 and we need to find x. So we draw the line, we draw a line of equation y equal 3. So we need to solve f of x equal 3. It means that y equal 3, okay? I have to draw a line y equal 3 of equation y equal 3. This is the line of equation y equal 3. It cuts the curve at -3, at -1, and at 3. So x equal -3 or x equal -1 or x equal 3. Second example, second part, part B. F of x equals to 0. We have to draw the line of equation y equal to 0, which is the x-axis. It cuts the curve at -4, 1, or 2. X equal -4, or x equal 1, or x equal 2. F of x less than 0. To solve f of x less than 0, we need to draw the line of equation y equals 0. It's already drawn, is the x-axis. I'm gonna solve f of x less than or equal to 0. Let's make it less than or equal to 0 as a first step. F of x less than or equal to 0 is when the curve is below the x-axis. I'm gonna color this part of the curve. When the curve is below the x-axis, this part of the curve is below the x-axis, and also this part of the curve is below the x-axis. So I will say this part of the curve starts at -5 and ends at -4. So I will say x belong from -5 till -4 union. This part of curve is from 0 to 3. على فكرة هون f of x هون cuts the curve على -4 على 0 على 2 مش على 1. Union from 0 till 4 and 0 till 2. And this is the solution. All the bounds of this interval are closed because we do have less than or equal. في عنا or equal بنسكر الباوندز ما دام defined. Table of variation. To set up the table of variation, we have to draw a vertical line and a horizontal line. خط بالطول خط بالعرض. X vary from -5 till 3. And we have to study the variations of F. The curve starts increasing بضل increasing لوين؟ عند -2. طبعا الفاليوز هون هن values للإكس، فنحن بنمشي على الإكس أكسس من الشمال لليمين. always أصلا we do go from left to right on the x-axis. The function is increasing. After -2, the function starts decreasing till 1. And after 1, the function becomes increasing till 3. The ordinate is of -5 is -1, -2, -3, -4, but the ordinate of -5 is -5. The ordinate of -2 is 4. The ordinate of 1 is -1, and the ordinate of 3 is 3. Finally, study the sign of f of x. Study the sign, it means when the function is positive and when it's negative. I'm going to do it in a table. I'm going to call it sign table for f. The function is positive when the curve is above the x-axis and is negative when the curve is below the x-axis. Also, x varies from -5 till 3. From -5 till -4, the curve is below the x-axis. From -5 till -4, the curve is below the x-axis, so it's negative. At -4, it vanishes. It cuts the x-axis, so it's 0. From -4 till 0, the curve is above the x-axis, so it's positive. From 0 till 2, the curve is also below the x-axis, so it's negative. From 2 to 3, the curve is above the x-axis, so it's positive. And that's how we do study the sign of the function f. Now we are going to solve this exercise quickly. This is the curve of a function f. Determine the domain of definition. Domain of definition. The values of x starts at -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and ends at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Part 2. Determine f of 2. It means x equal to, I do go to the curve, and the ordinate is 1, 2, 3, 4. The numbers are very small, so I can't see. F of -1, it means x equal -1, and I need to find the ordinate. -1, I go to the curve, and it's -3. F of 0, because 0 is on the curve, so f of 0 equals 0. The ordinate of 0 is 0. Part 3, solve graphically. F of x equals 3. I have to draw the line of equation y equals 3. The horizontal line of equation y equals 3. It cuts the curve at -4.5, 1, and 3. So x equals -4.5, or x equals 1, or x equals 3. Part B. This was part A. F of x equal to 0 is at the point of intersection with the x-axis. -4, 0, or 4. X equal -4, or x equal 0, or x equal 4. Part 4. Solve graphically f of x greater than 0. F of x greater than 0 is when the curve is above the x-axis. Okay, when the curve is above the x-axis, let's just change the color. This part of the curve is above the x-axis, and this part of the curve is above the x-axis. This part starts at -5 and ends at -4. This part starts at 0 and ends at 4. So I'm gonna say that the first part is from -5 till -4. Union. The second part is from 0 till 4. We said that when we have or equal, or the bounds should be closed if x is defined at this value. But if we don't have or equal, it could be open, it could be closed. Let's see. At -5, the curve is above the x-axis, so it's closed, it's included. At -4 is on the x-axis, it shouldn't be included. At 0, it's on the x-axis, it shouldn't be included. at 4 is on the x-axis, it should be included. The only abscissa that should be included is the abscissa of the point that is above the x-axis, and here we have 5. Finally, part 5, table of variation, vertical and horizontal lines, خط بالطول خط بالعرض, x vary from -5 to +5. The curve starts decreasing لهون عند -2, decreasing لعند -2. من بعد -2 شو بصير؟ increasing لهون، هيدي كل البارت increasing لهون، الابسيسة تاعولها 2. من بعد 2 decreasing لعند 5. طبعا نحن بنمشي على اكس اكسس دائما من الشمال لليمين. coordinate لل-5 هو 1 2 3 4 5. coordinate لل-2 هو -4. coordinate لل-2 هو 4. coordinate لل-5 هو -5. and this is the second question. Now, how can we use the graphical reading in economical exercises or in economic? This is in green, the curve of the cost function, and in ما بعرف شو بيقولوا له هيدا اللون BT, the curve of the revenue function. And now we need to study the third part 1, determine the fixed costs. Fixed costs equal C total of 0. C of 0 is 1. Okay, at the beginning he said that in the following figure the curve C represents the total cost in million. Okay, the cost is in million of reduction of x hundred of objects. X is in hundreds of objects. So CF equal 1, so the fixed costs equal 1 million Lebanese lira. Why million? 1 million because it's in million Lebanese lira. Every answer of C must be multiplied by 1 million. Part 2. Determine the quantity to be produced so that the factory achieve a gain. Gain, we said that we have a gain in the experience of the chapter when P of X is greater than 0. But we don't have P of X here, so we can say when the revenue is greater than the cost, when R of X is greater than C of X. We have a gain if we have P of X equal greater than 0 or for R of X greater than C of X. Because we don't have P of X in this exercise, so we're going to use R of X greater than C of X. R of X greater than C of X. They intersect at this point, at this point of abscissa 4, and I think this point is 0.40. 0.4. Let's just erase this, and this point is 0.38 as I know, يعني. Okay, and this point is 4. So in this part of the curve the cost is the revenue is below the cost. بس هون هاي البارت من الكيرف بس هون بكون الريفينيو أعلى من الكوست. Okay, so let's erase this. Revenue is greater than the cost. X belongs to the interval 0.38 till 4. But X is in hundreds of objects, so I should multiply this by 100. يعني for a production between 338, the X should multiply by 138 and 400 objects. For sure 38 and 400 are not included, that's why we said between. And part 3. Determine the quantity to be produced so that the factory achieve a break-even level. Break-even level, we say we do have a break-even level or break-even point when the profit is equal to 0. No gain, no loss. But we don't have the profit here, profit curve or profit function, is when R of X equals C of X. It means where they intersect. So X equals 0.38 or X equals 4. يعني for the production of 38 or 40 objects. Finally, we are going to exist. The last exercise in this chapter, we have the curve of the profit function P. The following curve represents the profit of production of X thousands of objects, and profit is in hundreds of millions. Okay? It cuts the x-axis here at 0.315 and here at 3.891. Okay. Let's say at first he asks calculate P of 2. P of 2, it means x equal to 2 go to the curve, so equal 3. Interpret economically. P of 2, it means we are producing 2,000, x is in 1,000, 2,000 articles, and the profit gonna be 300 million Lebanese lira. Yani, for the production of 200 articles, the factory realize a profit equal 300 million Lebanese lira. For the production of 200 articles, the factory will realize a profit of 300 million Lebanese lira because we have to multiply by 100 of million. Second part, determine the quantity that should be produced to realize a gain. Realize a gain, it means that the profit should be greater than 0. Profit is greater than 0 when the curve of P is above the x-axis. Above the x-axis from this point is 0.319, 319 now 318, 0.318 till this point 3.891. It means for a production between this number should multiply by the unit of x, which is thousands. So 318 and 3,891 articles. Finally, part 3, determine the minimal quantity to be produced to realize a gain. It means minimal quantity, minimal value of x, so that P of x becomes positive. Realize again P of x, minimal value of x so that P of x positive. يعني بالعربي امتى ببلش يربح. هون factory was losing على 0.318. اوكي كان في عنا break even level بعد دغري ببلش يربح. So x equal بعد 0.318 بناخد 0.319 يعني for the production of 319 articles. ببلش يربح لما ينتج 319 articles. بيكون قبل break even level وقبل break even level بيكون عنا loss. Thank you all.